our words give grace to those we meet in this time and place. May we pray in faith, so our prayers grant peace to those in need, to the last at least. May we sing with joy, so our songs heal pain and offer hope to the lost again. May we act in love, so our lives make known to every soul they are not alone. May our words and deeds join our song and prayer to bless the world with our deepest care. May we speak the truth, so our words give grace to those we meet in this time and place. May we pray in faith, so our prayers grant peace to those in need, to the last at least. May we sing with joy, so our songs heal pain and offer hope to the lost again. May we act in love, so our lives make known to every soul they are not alone. May our words and deeds join our song and prayer to bless the world with our deepest care. May we act in love, so our lives make known to every soul they are not alone. May our words and deeds join our song and prayer to bless the world with our deepest care.
Good morning. And any morning we are together is always a good morning. I gotta tell you, it feels like it's hot and happening here in Southern California. So I welcome you to the live in-person and live Zoom worship service of the Universalist Unitarian Church of Riverside. Our opening hymn this morning is number 121, We'll Build a Land, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to rise and sing as the Spirit moves you. The lyrics will also be projected on the screen. Now let us rise, embody your spirit, and join in singing hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land, from the Gray Hymnal.
anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land where we bring the good tidings to all the afflicted and all those who mourn, and we'll give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land building up ancient cities, raising up devastations from mold, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come build a land where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once weak, where like oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come build the land, my people we seek. Come build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
Thank you for joining us here in person, and thank you for joining us remotely by Zoom, where we will continue live streaming and posting these services on our YouTube channel for our virtual attendees. My name is Nick Williams, a member of the Worship Committee, and I will be your worship associate today. Other members of the Worship Committee who make this service possible: Alec Peck, our music coordinator and running the electronics today; Kate Lewicki, who is in charge of our sound system; and Tinka Friend, who will be reading our sermon this morning. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and muted electronic devices. We welcome all of you to our service, especially those of you who are searching for a spiritual home. Many of us are seeking for something larger than ourselves to which we could belong, a sense of rootedness to hold us as we create meaning together, whether it's your first time in worship with us or your 100th time. We hope that you will find values that help you feed your spirit and live your faith. Before we move into the service, there are a few announcements we would like to share. We will mention several websites, email addresses, and phone numbers. At the end of the service, we will leave up a slide with all this information, and it is available if you go to our website. The monthly UUCR newsletter comes out the first of every other month by email and per request by postal mail. If you have something newsworthy that you would like to contribute, email uuchurchofriverside.calendar@gmail.com or call the church office at 951-686-6515. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, please contact the church office. The worship committee will be meeting in the parish hall following refreshment time. Just a reminder, Sunday morning services return to 10 a.m. starting September 6th. That means 3 more services at our earlier time of 9. And a big thank you goes to everyone who showed up yesterday to join us in cleaning up. Grace and Tinka cleaned out the storage closet. Mari cleaned out the kitchen. Nick, Adam, Avery, and Kate cleaned out the vestibule. Nikki vacuumed the sanctuary. And Alec cleaned all the ceiling cobwebs that he could reach. Longtime UUCR member Dave Mowry is now living at Citrus Place Nursing Home in the memory care section. This month, he has been visited by several church friends. Last Sunday, Walt shared about his visit with Dave. And this past week, Adam, Grace, Tinka, and I spent breakfast with him and were spent breakfast with him and a very, excuse me. We spent breakfast with him. It's a very nice facility, and all the staff members there were interacting with him, and they were very kind and friendly. After he finished eating, we all sat outside in the shade on a covered patio. When we left, he joined others there for a musical sing-along. See one of us for address if you want to visit him also. I would now like to invite Adam, the chair of our Social Justice Committee, for a quick announcement.
Good morning.
Good morning.
At our last social justice meeting, we talked a little bit about the University Terrace project, which we've talked a bunch about here at the church. It's a housing first project that the city rejected. The Affordable Housing Organizing Committee is asking folks to go to the city council meeting this Tuesday to talk about it. They're going into mediation to deal with the civil rights complaints that have been lodged against the city because of their rejection of this. And they're going to ask at the mediation that the city reapply for these funds. These funds have gone back to the home key fund thing, and so they've got to reapply for that grant. Before you leave, on the table there's a toolkit with how to talk to city council, show up, call, join by Zoom, and some talking points. There's also the uuchurchriverside.org/loveishome. You can, if you go there, you can get a link to post an e-comment if you can't show up in person. Also, a really quick announcement. Third Tuesday of the month at Back to the Grind, there's an event called the Big Gay Game Show. I'd like everybody to come. Lauren and I went this last month and we had a blast. Our team won. There are drag performances, there's games, it's comedy, it's just a whole lot of fun. So I'd like to see if we can get a bunch of us to show up. So the third Tuesday, I believe that's the 18th this month at 7 p.m. at Back to the Grind in the basement. Come check it out. It's a lot of fun.
I just want to point out the date, if it's this Tuesday, That's the wrong date. It's August 14th.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's August 11th. I got some dates mixed up. 14th is actually the mediation meeting that the city's going to do. The 11th is our city council meeting, yeah. But make sure you get the toolkit that's on the table there, Julie.
Thank you, Adam. Our time is brief, but it is filled with joy. In that spirit, I invite you to turn to those around you, greet them, welcome them, and share that joy. Hi, Avery. What? Yes, okay. For those on Zoom, you can use the Zoom wave gesture or just wave at your camera and let us know your name if you are a new visitor. Anything new, Alec? As we take our seats, welcome to all our visitors today. Welcome back to old friends. We would love to meet you during coffee hour in the parish hall after the service, where you can also find our visitors tablet. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know you were here, and leave your contact information if you want updates on church events. There will also be a short discussion after the service to share your reflections on today's sermon with us. For those online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. And now, I invite you to sit back, take a slow, deep breath as we move into the worship hour. You're welcome to read with me the covenant of our church. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to live in harmony with all the living creatures and plants of the earth. This do we affirm. Our sermon today was written by a newly ordained UU minister, Reverend Karishma Gottfried. Reverend Karishma Gottfried says she was raised on fair trade coffee and love in the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Corvallis, Oregon. Ever since a particularly meaningful year of our whole lives, the OWL program, in the 7th grade, she was all in on Unitarian Universalism. In her few years of high school, she had the privilege and responsibility of serving as chair of her district's youth board, the Youth Empowerment Services Team, and as a youth dean for the UUA's General Assembly. In February 2026, the Community Church of New York voted to ordain her to the Unitarian Universalist ministry. She completed her Master of Divinity from Union Theological Seminary and was ordained by Community Church in May 2026, where her community engagement and pastoral care for the ages 13 to 30. She's passionate about youth and youth adult ministry, collaboration, and innovative worship, and resources and supports for UUs of color. As a Unitarian Universalist, we rely heavily on the teachings of our parent traditions, Judaism and Christianity, interpreting their stories through an open mind, perspective, seeking universal meaning in those ancient texts. Universalism is now sometimes interpreted to mean that we draw a universal meaning from all religious traditions. We have drawn values from Buddhism, Hinduism, paganism, humanism, feminism, and liberal theology. What about Unitarian and Universalism? What do we believe? A connection that we miss a lot of the time when we draw from our other religions is how those truths connect to our truths. We have 2 lightings of candles, sacred flames. The first is a remembrance candle for the indigenous peoples who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. We remember that we live off the unceded land of several indigenous peoples, including the Cahuilla, the Luiseño, the Serrano, the Keats, the Cupano, and others. We light this sacred flame in their remembrance and recognition of their ongoing struggle for freedom and dignity.
Excuse me, Nick, at this time, could I read something on that?
Yes,
Um,
this is Avery, a member of our church.
yes, I'm Avery Burrow,
Get
and
close.
I would like to read on the indigenous people. I would like to read on the indigenous people subject that today is the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. Thank you.
Thank you. Our second sacred flame is our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We are excuse me. We are blessed with this space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting words are Shining Upon the Hearts by Sangai Hawk. With the lighting of this flame, let us grow the radiance of joy. With the lighting of this flame, let us spark the brilliance of hope. With the lighting of this flame, let us shine upon the hearts of all who suffer, who yearn, and who crave the joyful noise of community. All beings, no one left behind. Our hymn now is number 1008, When Our Hearts Are in a Holy Place, from the Teal hymnal. Feel free to rise or sing as the Spirit moves you. The lyrics will also be projected on the screen. Now please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 1008, When Our Hearts Are in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a stars from deep inside, and we listen with love in mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words. Then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place. When we share the silence of sacred space, and when God at home stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
This portion of our service is to support our beloved historical church. This can be accomplished in several ways. And pardon me, sorry. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown here. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is shown here, as well as on the church website and in the newsletter. Gift cards that support the church can be purchased through Raise Right for hundreds of places like CVS and many restaurants and more. You get the full value, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Robert Braun in the church office if you are interested in purchasing Raise Right gift cards to support the church. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity. To those who give of their time and talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. To all of you who have joined us here today, thank you for the gift of your presence. Will our ushers now please come forward to receive the collection? A tote bag will also be passed around to collect food and hygiene items for our local community. Ushers. Our next hymn is 10:10, We Give Thanks, from the Teal Hymnal. Feel free to rise or sing as the Spirit moves you. The lyrics will also be projected on the screen. Now let us rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn 1010, We Give Thanks.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
This is the part of the service where we center and ground ourselves in the present moment. So please sit back, relax, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let your mind quiet down and enter into a peaceful state. I have titled our meditation today, In the Rich Soil of Human Wisdom. Spirit of life and source of light, we ground ourselves in the rich soil of human wisdom, thankful for the diverse spiritual streams that feed this Unitarian Universalist faith. From Judaism and Islam, we carry the prophetic call for justice, equity, and compassion. From Christianity, we learn the radical power of love, grace, forgiveness, and community. From Buddhism and Hinduism, we embrace mindfulness, the pursuit of peace, and the deep connection of all living things. From Taoism and indigenous traditions, we remember our sacred relationship with the earth and the natural rhythms of life. From humanism, we honor the gifts of reason, science, and the power of human agency to create a better world. May we honor these roots. May they guide our hearts to resist oppression, to extend mercy, and to love boldly. Bound together in our diversity, we move forward in hope. Now let us pause for a moment of silence and reflection on these words. Thank you. I'm Tinka Friend, and I will be sharing with you a sermon, which I did not write this time. And the sermon is titled, The 5 Jagged Rocks of Unitarian Universalism. And I have them here, these 5 jagged rocks. As I was looking on the UUA Worship web for sermons and inspiration, I came across a sermon by, as you heard, a newly ordained multicultural UU minister, Karishma Gottfried. So you can see the two different cultures there just in her name. The sermon, however, was from 2019, so she probably was a seminary student then. Well, those of you who have been attending this church know my love for this faith and its rich history. How could I not love this sermon? I did adapt it slightly for clarity and for emphasis, and I hope it moves you as much as it moved me. Here is her sermon. In the Bible, there's a pretty well-known story about David and Goliath. Goliath, the huge warrior that was on the side of the Philistines, challenged someone from the side of the Israelites to battle. David, who was young and slight of build, was chosen. And he knew that even with all of the armor in the world, he would not be able to win against Goliath by strength alone. So he took a staff and he picked up 5 smooth stones, and he put them in his bag along with a sling. As he approached Goliath, David took the stones and slung them at Goliath, striking him on the forehead and knocking him over. As Unitarian Universalists, we rely heavily on the teachings of our parent traditions, Judaism and Christianity, interpreting their stories through an open-minded perspective, seeking universal meanings in those ancient texts. In the centuries in which our faith has expanded outside the bounds of traditional Judeo-Christianity, we have also expanded what we draw our inspiration from. As Reverend Leslie Takahashi says, they teach us these traditional stories. They teach us to believe in the teachings of Jesus or the teachings of Buddha, to believe in human potential or a power beyond a single will. But life embraces multiple truths and speaks of both and of and. We draw many of our rituals from paganism, focusing on how to embody our faith, live fully our best selves, and respect the earth and her people. Buddhism teaches us to be mindful, disciplined, and present in the moment, focusing our actions and intentions to make this world better. Feminist and liberation theologies from various religious traditions remind us that we are a prophetic faith, and we are not complacent in the face of change, but rather pushing forward beyond our comfort to change the status quo and to change our role in oppression. So how can the story of David and Goliath, a story from one of many sacred texts, be interpreted in Unitarian Universalism? Well, James Luther Adams, a Unitarian minister and 20th century theologian, used the story of David and Goliath and the 5 smooth stones that David carried to articulate 5 smooth stones of the liberal religious tradition. The belief about what it means to practice faith in a responsible, progressive way. Because although as far as religion goes, we are sure in the minority, but we can still have a big impact on the world. But UUism isn't the only liberal religion, and many beliefs that we hold to are also held by many other religions. So where does our theology lie? Our Unitarian Universalist theology. What can we point to when asked not only what we believe, but what is the bedrock of our faith? As the title of this sermon suggests, there are some rocks that we can base our faith on. The 5 jagged rocks are an adaptation of Reverend James Luther Adams' 5 smooth stones. They were created by Reverends Nancy Bowen and Mike Moran, who wanted something that could build on the 7 principles, but focus even more on a declaration of our faith. Instead of the smooth stones created by Adams, they chose to, quote, recognize a faith that is dangerous and not always smooth going. This was according to Reverend Gretchen Haley. So our stones are jagged because we are not perfect, theologically or otherwise. We are rough around the edges, but that doesn't make us any less valid. The first of the 5 jagged rocks, although this is not necessarily in any specified order, is the belief that there is a unity that makes us one. Simply put, we believe that everything is connected. This rock gives us freedom to express our theology. Some might call that connection God, or the spirit of life, or the mystery of the universe. As our 4th principle guides us to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, our 3rd principle reminds us that all of our faith discoveries are aided by acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth. The 2nd jagged rock is all souls are sacred and worthy. This is reflective of our 1st principle, the affirmation of the inherent worth and dignity of every person. But it focuses more on something greater than just simply intrinsic ethical goodness. You may have heard Reverend Thomas Starr King's well-known quote, his quip, "Universalists believe God is too good to damn people. Unitarians believe they're too good to be damned." This obviously was before the 1961 merger of both of those faiths. This rock signals that our sacredness and worth are tied to something greater than each individual. We don't focus on whether someone is damned or divine, because it doesn't matter where they're going. It matters that they are here now. When we talk about all souls being sacred and worthy, it's a truly radical statement, especially to some religions. When we proclaim that people are sacred just for being alive, when we don't focus on the color of their skin or their immigration status, don't think about who they love or who they are or how they move, just stating that they are sacred and worthy, we are living our theology as Unitarian Universalists. Our 3rd jagged rock, courageous love transforms the world. It is deeper and wider than just love. When the Beatles say, all you need is love, They're talking about courageous love. UUs do their very best to side with love. And that's what makes all the difference. Even though we have fallen short many, many times, we Unitarian Universalists keep going. We keep trying. We get up again and again and again and yet again on the side of love. This rock reminds us to love one another. We are a justice-seeking faith, always reaching for that beloved community. How do we create beloved community? With love, with courageous love. Not love for oppression or hatred, because as much as we have to recognize that all souls are sacred and worthy, it's hard to think about that when they refuse to recognize the sacredness and worthiness of my soul, of yours. But it is much more important to focus on loving each other, loving the promise of our shared liberation, because that is what is going to transform the world. The fourth rock is the knowledge that truth continues to be revealed. Our revelation is not sealed. What we believe as a faith community has changed throughout history and will continue to change. Ours is one of the most transformative faiths, because instead of being defined by one set creed, we are defined by how we choose to be in covenant with each other. And that covenant can change. It will change, and it has changed over time. Our principles, one of the most formative parts of Unitarian Universalism, was only adapted in 1960. And in fact, the seventh principle about the interdependent web of existence was only adopted in 1985. That was because of a big groundswell coming up from the UUA convention from a lot of pagans. And also science. One of our sixth sources teaches us that we always have more to learn about life, the universe, and of course, ourselves. As a species, we are always discovering, always adjusting to a hypothesis and changing our realities and our behavior. What is true for what we know, that is true for what we know of ourselves and the world. So why should it not also be true about our faith? Freedom and tolerance have been central to our tradition, at least since the Reformation. But we can wonder if the many Unitarians and Universalists that we claim as our spiritual ancestors would claim us now, too. If they made it through this service, they would certainly be shocked to learn at coffee hour that a good proportion of the congregants here don't even believe in God. But so is the journey of our faith, ever changing, ever growing. As Universalist Edwin Markham once wrote, he drew a circle to shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the will to win. We drew a circle that took him in. As the Unitarian and Universalist merger showed us, our faith and its beliefs are appealing to many. If we can keep growing our circle, watching and catching those at the margins and holding them close, revealing the truth as we discover it, our love and our faith can only get stronger. The fifth rock is the belief of salvation in this life. And this comes from our Universalist roots. And it might be the most radical, jagged rock of them all. While most other faiths believe in an afterlife, as Unitarian Universalists as a whole, we understand that no one belief is guaranteed to be true, that truths are revealed constantly. Each person can still have their own truth, but it's more important to us than what happened. But what's more important to us than what happens after we die is how we live our life now. Maybe we go to heaven, or maybe we're reborn, or maybe we just cease to exist. Maybe our fate is predetermined, or maybe our actions add up to determine whether we make it into the good place. But what can we do now? What can we do to make the world a better place, not because some future reward, but because our lives, all of our lives, depend on it? This rock solidifies that our liberation is tied up with one another's, because we are connected, and when one of us is in pain, we are all in pain, because none of us are free until all of us are free. There is no salvation for us in this life unless it is for all of us. We have to gather that light together. That is the promise of beloved community. In 1790, when the Universalist Convention in Philadelphia, get that, 1790, adopted an anti-slavery resolution proposed by Universalist Benjamin Rush, who you may recognize that signed the Declaration of Independence. They were fighting for salvation in this life. When American Unitarians traveled to Europe and risked their lives to help Jews and other refugees escape the Nazis, they were fighting for salvation in this life. When Reverend James Reeb and Viola Liuzio were killed in Selma after traveling there for the civil rights movement, they were fighting for salvation in this life. And today, as Unitarian Universalist congregations around the country vote to provide sanctuary for undocumented immigrants, as you use travel to the southern border to protest and bear witness, as we proclaim that no one can be illegal on stolen land, we are fighting for salvation in this life. Reverend Sophia Betancourt, our UUA president, reminds us, we are in control of what we do with our daily living. If we, each of us, represents a missing remnant in the fabric of our collective future, then together we can lean into a possibility that we have yet to fully experience in human history, a collective wholeness, an unassailable good. So immerse yourself unapologetically in what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist in these days. And then go out into the world and live knowing that your faith matters. There have been many, many times in our history and today when we have not done the right thing, where we have forgotten about what we are all working towards. But Unitarian minister Reverend Theodore Parker said it best in his 1853 sermon, titled Of Justice as the Conscience, when he said, "Look at the facts of the world. You see a continual and progressive triumph of the right." Now, he meant doing the right thing. They weren't right and left back then. "I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one. My eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. But from what I see, I am sure that it bends towards justice." I'm sure you're thinking, that's familiar. I think I've heard that before. You might recognize Parker's spiritual legacy that was adapted and popularized by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. And the moral arc bends that way because there are people who are bending it towards justice, because it is our duty to help heal the world, to fight for salvation in this life. We are a community of thinkers and seekers and doers. We are heretics. The word coming from the Greek to choose. Heretics are those who choose. We have chosen how we want to be in relationship with each other. We have chosen what we draw our wisdom from, and we have chosen what we believe through our 7 principles, our 6 sources, and now our 5 jagged rocks. We are a radical, liberal, and theologically rich faith. And like David with his smooth stones, bending his sling towards Goliath, we will use our jagged rocks to bend the arc of the universe towards justice. So be it. Amen. I do this. Okay. Our chalice lighting started our worship hour with the commitment of all who crave the joyful noise of community, and not one would be left behind. And now we end with the image that we will never be alone as long as we remember to walk each other home. Our final music is "We Are Walking Each Other Home" by Amanda Eudice Kessler. The words will be projected. Enjoy the message and the gift of music, and feel free to stand and sing along as the Spirit moves you.
We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are singing each other home. We are singing each other home. And we will never be alone. We are singing each other home. We are dancing each other home. We are dancing each other home. And we will never be alone. We are dancing each other home. We are laughing each other home. We are laughing each other home. And we will never be alone. We are laughing each other home. We are weeping each other home. We are weeping each other home. And we will never be alone. We are weeping each other home. We We are praying each other home. We are praying each other home. And we will never be alone. We are praying each other home. We are guiding each other home. We are guiding each other home. And we will never be alone. We are guiding each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. We are walking each other home. And we will never be alone. We are walking each other home.
For our earlier meditation prayer, I spoke of the diverse spiritual streams that feed our Unitarian Universalist faith and what we revere from them. In the sermon, I acknowledged the 5 rocks that Unitarian Universalism was built upon. My closing words focus on those 5 jagged rocks and what we do with them. Where should we keep these rocks? There is a unity that makes us one. All souls are sacred and worthy. Courageous love transforms the world. Truth continues to be revealed. Salvation in this life. Such are our 5 sacred jagged rocks of Unitarian Universalism. Where should we keep them? Put them under your pillow when you dream. Put them where you can see them. Hold them tightly in your hand. Put them in your cart while you are shopping. Put them in a pocket close to your heart. Grasp them firmly when you talk to others. But never leave home without them. Namaste, amen, and blessed be.
Thank you, Tinka, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you again. We also thank Tinka Friend, who accompanies our hymns in American Sign Language. After a moment, we will have a 10 to 15 minute discussion and question and answer period here in the sanctuary. For those who wish to share your thoughts and observations on today's topic, please be aware this will be included on the video that is posted. Otherwise, you are now welcome to adjourn into the parish hall for coffee hour. Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead and have our comment or discussion time. If anybody wants to share, I invite you to come up to the microphone and to keep your comments down to about 2 minutes and related to the service, what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. And if there's anyone here or online that would like to share their thoughts. Any ideas about those 5 jagged rocks? Do you agree with her that that's a bedrock of this faith? You have to get close.
I want to thank you for that. It's offered me a lot of comfort. And it's something I'm going to take home with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The line about the truth continues to be revealed even now also goes with another phrase I've heard. The future does not repeat itself, but it surely rhymes. When we see something that says, well, when this happened over here, we didn't like it, or we liked it. When this happened over here, we liked it, or we didn't like it. Shall we not say that again one more time? In one hand, each rock is unique. On the other hand, there's a reason they use the word mountain for the collective of rocks. And all I know is that this particular era has given us quite a number of chances to repeat what we didn't get right before. Oh God, job security.
Thank you, Bill. Also, feel free to come up if there's something that did not resonate with you. You know, if there is something in there that you take exception to or question.
I think I liked the message of the 5 jagged rocks. I only wish I had it in hand to look them over again. I'm trying to remember exactly what they were. As usual, I'm a political animal, so I was formulating things to say this morning based on watching the 3 news programs that launch. First one at 7:30. CBS, and then ABC and NBC. And they had my favorites on. They had AOC. I always say AOC so often I'm pausing as to what AOC is now. And they had Bernie, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And then they had a fellow, forget his name now, but 3, the message is the idea of the arc of the pendulum or whatever swings lofty or whichever. I think we're starting to swing back. That's the message. One of Senator Murphy quoted that 7 in 10 people are dissatisfied with these endless wars. And it looks like, based on Democrat socialist words that normally make people jump and go, oh my, people that are joining that, or at least running under that label, are surprisingly winning. So it looks like things are swinging back. So I just encourage you to feel hope, but also to get on the bandwagon. Maybe we can stop Trump yet. Thank you.
Thank you. I know that, you want to come up, Grace? I know that moral arc of the universe that you were speaking of. I often use that as a visual when I am so frustrated and I feel like we're never going to get to justice, or that I thought we were close to justice and then not. Because I remember that an arc, at first, if this is justice over here, the arc at first goes up and is very high and away from the justice. It's way up there, but eventually it will come down. That's the message. It will come down and become justice. So I just keep telling myself, we're in the up, we're in the part of the arc that's up here, you know, but if we keep working and pulling on it, we can pull it down to justice. Grace?
I was just wondering if jagged rocks are more effective in a slingshot than smooth rocks.
If jagged rocks are more effective than smooth rocks? I don't know. That's a good question. I guess it depends on what you feel the purpose of the rocks are. I know that when I'm doing like when I would do the healing vespers, or a ritual in which we use the rocks, you know, to put into our vessel, into the water, that when I was dealing with something that was difficult or hard or painful or a struggle, I would choose the jagged rock to go in there. And when it was more of a joy, you know, that I was sharing, then I chose the smooth rock. But I don't know. That's a good, maybe that sounds like that's an estuary question to bring to our estuary groups, which meets on it's a discussion group where you pick your own topic and discuss. And that happens on the first and third Thursdays in our parish hall at 7:00. Okay, anyone else have a comment to make? Is there anyone online that has a comment? Okay. All right, well, then I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts, and you may join us now in the parish hall for further fellowship.